The children were so puzzled about what to do. You see, it was Midsummer Night, and they just knew there was a special dream that came with it. But how to find it, how to catch it? That was the big question. They knew it had something to do with fairies, a beautiful queen, and all sorts of lovely, magical things. But that's all they knew. Their first idea was to stay up all night. They'd keep the doors and windows wide open, and their trusty dog would sit on the steps, ready to bark if he saw anything unusual. A pretty solid plan, right? But then, they had a thought. How could they dream if they were wide awake? It just didn't make sense. So 3 of them decided to go to bed, while one, still determined, dozed off in a corner of the porch, fully dressed and ready for action. Suddenly, the dog barked. It was the signal. 2 children in their nightgowns immediately ran outside to see what was happening. Another one, from upstairs, took off her nightcap and leaned out the window, her eyes wide with excitement. Was it the fairies? Was it the queen? But no. It was just old Nurse coming home late after a long chat with the village blacksmith's wife. The dog looked a bit foolish, wagging his tail uncertainly. And Nurse? Oh, she was not pleased. Seeing them all out of bed, she marched them right back inside and tucked them in without another word. Their great Midsummer Night stakeout was over. But here's the funny thing about dreams. Sometimes they come when you least expect them. After all the excitement, as the children finally drifted off to sleep, tired but still full of hope, the magic of the night began to weave its spell. Little did they know, their adventure was just beginning. The dream they were so desperate to find was on its way, ready to visit them in their sleep, filled with more wonder than they could have ever imagined while they were awake. And that, my friends, is the secret of Midsummer Night. Thanks so much for listening to our story today. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more magical tales. See you next time. The children were stumped, completely puzzled. It was Midsummer Night, and they just knew, there was a special dream that came with it. But how to find it? That was the big question. They had heard whispers about what the dream held, fairies, a magnificent queen, and all sorts of wonderful, magical things. But the details were fuzzy, like trying to remember a real dream after you wake up. Their first idea was to stage a stakeout. They would stay up all night, with every door and window flung wide open. They even positioned the dog on the porch steps, ready to bark at the first sign of anything unusual. But then a thought struck them. How could you possibly have a dream if you were wide awake? It didn't make any sense. So, Plan B was put into action. 3 of the children scrambled into their beds, pulling the covers up to their chins. The 4th, a bit more stubborn, decided to compromise. She curled up in a corner of the porch, still fully dressed, and let herself doze off. Not long after, the silence was shattered. Woof, woof. The dog was barking. Instantly, 2 children, looking like little ghosts in their white nightgowns, raced outside to see what was happening. A 3rd popped her head out of an upstairs window, her nightcap askew, trying to get a better look. Was it the fairies? Was the dream finally here? But no. It was just old Nurse, trudging back home after a very long chat with the village blacksmith's wife and his mother-in-law. The dog tucked his tail between his legs, looking a bit silly. And Nurse? She was not amused. Seeing the children out of bed, she marched them all straight back to their rooms. No arguments, no excuses. The Midsummer Night dream would just have to wait. Thanks for listening to our story today. If you enjoyed this little tale, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more magical adventures. See you next time.